It doesn't begin with the end. It begins with one missile, one launch that no one stops, and then another and another. In less than an hour, the sky is filled with fire trails. Major cities vanish like dots erased from a map. Rough estimates? In the first strikes, about 200 million people are gone, instantly. Not with pain, not with time to pray, just shadows on concrete. The strange part is that the world doesn't end all at once. Roughly 30% of humanity survives the first month, scattered across rural areas, mountains, and anywhere far from important targets. But surviving the blast is just the beginning. The skies dim. Dust and ash rise so high that sunlight weakens by nearly 70%. It's called nuclear winter, and it doesn't look like a movie. It looks like the sun has the flu. Days feel like permanent dusk, and nights stretch endlessly. Within 6 months, global temperatures drop by an average of 12 degrees Celsius. Crops fail. Grains rot. Scientists once estimated that only 10 to 15% of the world's food systems could withstand such conditions. Translation: 9 out of 10 dinner plates go empty. Cities? They're graveyards. Imagine New York with glass towers standing like skeletons, wind howling through broken windows. Radiation zones glow not with neon green, but with silence. Invisible, cruel, untouchable. Survivors mark doors with chalk skulls, warning others. Don't go inside, death lives here. People adapt because they always do. The lucky 5% with bunkers and supplies suddenly look like kings, until their canned beans run out. Within a year, survival rates plummet further. Only 1 to 2% of the global population is left struggling against hunger, cold, and each other. In numbers, that means less than 150 million people on the whole planet. For perspective, that's fewer humans than there were in the year 500 AD. Civilization doesn't just collapse, it rewinds. And yet, there's humor in the absurd. In broken towns, people trade sardines like gold. A single pack of instant noodles sparks a fistfight. Someone jokes that humanity has finally solved traffic jams forever, except for the permanent kind, where rusted cars sit frozen in place for decades. Another survivor scribbles on a ruined wall, "Free Wi-Fi ahead." It's a lie, of course, but laughter buys another day of sanity. The second year is worse. Sunlight is scarce, and fields refuse to yield. Wheat fails in North America. Rice vanishes in Asia. The Amazon rainforest withers at its edges. Global famine is no longer a warning. It's the new climate. People boil leather shoes for soup. They chew weeds that taste of ash. By this point, only 50 million remain alive, scattered tribes of stubborn humanity. Governments are gone. Armies are gone. Nations are gone. What's left are tiny clusters of people, calling themselves communities, republics, brotherhoods. Grand names for groups barely large enough to play a soccer match. Power grids are silent, satellites burn up and fall, and the internet becomes mythology. Children ask, "What was Wi-Fi?" And parents shake their heads, struggling to explain gods they once carried in their pockets. Radiation doesn't care about bravery. Some survivors gamble, entering forbidden zones for scraps of food, fuel, or medicine. They return sick, glowing not with light but with tumors. The invisible poison ensures one truth: physics can't be cheated. But nature, strangely enough, begins to heal. Wolves roam highways. Deer graze in front of collapsed shopping malls. Crows perch on the heads of cracked statues. Humanity shrinks, but the earth breathes again. Cockroaches, of course, thrive. No one is surprised. The question isn't whether humanity can survive. It's whether it deserves to. With so few left, every choice matters. Do we rebuild what was brick by brick, clinging to electricity and skyscrapers? Or do we adapt to something smaller, quieter? Fires in caves, stories told by memory, no longer chasing the dream of progress. Here's the cruel math. After a full-scale nuclear exchange, survival odds fall below 2%. Which means, if you're alive, you are one of the statistical miracles. But the real choice isn't about living or dying. It's about what to do after. So, if the bombs fell tomorrow, where would you stand? Would you fight tooth and nail to rebuild civilization from ashes? Or would you let the old world die and learn to live in the silence it left behind?